the key to a good and long-standing customer relationship is honesty, integrity, building genuine connections with your clients, going through some difficult times but together, and then obviously, as I mentioned earlier, being open and clear on what are the capabilities of your offering and what are the things that work well and don't, and also getting that feedback from the merchant. And I think that over the years we were fortunate that we have built a technology that solves the problems for the merchants, and that we were able to be reliable, because I think reliability is also a very strong factor when it comes to the length of a relationship, together with all those other factors, that they always had a consultant and not merely a provider that is trying to sell them something on our side.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Connected with Pragmatic Solutions. Today we're talking to Trustly and with Vasily Lekovic, Vice President of Gaming at Trustly. Vasily, nice to be speaking with you.
Good to be here, Ashley. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, you play such an important role. Trustly is a global leader in pay-by-bank solutions, so it's such a critical function in the iGaming industry, and you guys are a market leader globally. I've noted some things from the corporate website: 900 employees, 12,000 banks in the network, 9,000 merchants served worldwide, a 93 billion in annual transaction volume. I mean, Trustly is a big provider, and I imagine the gaming sector is just one of the verticals that you support. But I look forward to talking with you about pay-by-bank and how that's important to the industry, and the other services that you provide outside of that at Trustly, such as orchestration and KYC and onboarding services. So let's start at the top, Vasily. Describe Trustly for those that are not familiar with what Trustly does and your history in the industry.
Thank you. Yeah, Trustly is, as you said, the global leader in pay-by-bank services. The company originates from Stockholm, where I'm actually based as well. We started in 2008, before pay-by-bank and open banking was a term, and before there was a proper regulation across Europe and in the world when it comes to this type of payments. Over the years, we have built a very strong network of integrations with banks and payment schemes across Europe and across the world, to be more precise. Which allowed us to build services that first started with payment services, instant deposits, payouts, but then over the years evolved in a variety of different data services and solutions that help our merchants in different industries. Obviously, we started from gaming, and gaming is our strongest vertical to this day. When it comes to the markets that we cover, those are all the European EU markets, the UK, and then North American markets like US and Canada. I would say that the company stands out from the competition because obviously over the year there was a second payment service directive that allowed companies to build similar type of services. What sets us apart from the competition is probably the fact that we have the strongest network of integrations, local bank accounts in most of the markets where we operate, and then that we built on top of the pure payment services with different products and functionalities that solve the problems for the operators, let's say in the gambling industry, but also for merchants in other industries that rely on the KYC, financial, and other data. But I'm sure that we're going to talk a little bit more about that during this conversation.
Yeah, no, exactly. We should talk about all of those now. Let's start with the pay-by-bank solution. I think this is really where the origins of the company are, and what is the convenience there for the customer? And you say Trustly has some advantages over other competitors that are providing that service. So how is that reflected in either the customer experience advantages that Trustly provides, or for the operator in higher approval rates or success rates with deposits?
There are many advantages. First of all, the pay-by-bank or direct bank payments or open banking, however you want to call it, is a solution that allows the user to pay and get paid directly to their bank account or pay directly from their bank account, cutting the middleman, which in traditional payment landscape would be your card solution or e-wallet or similar types of traditional payment methods. The user is actually using the same online banking credentials that they use to log into their online bank, and in the background, the money is sent from the user's bank account to the bank account of Trustly, which coincidentally we have a bank account in the same bank of the user, which makes the transaction instant and flawless. And the whole user experience, especially with the technologically advanced solutions that exist today across many banks in Europe and North America, allow the user to pay with a few simple steps and use biometric authentication on their phone in order to make a deposit. And the same goes when it comes to payouts. When they initiate a payout on a gambling's website, the money arrives to their bank account within seconds, which has proven to be quite an advantage in gaming industry, for example. What also is an add-on to that is that when it comes to Trustly, as I mentioned earlier, we have bank accounts across multiple local banks and markets. So the users in Italy, when they initiate a payout from a gambling website in Italy, will not receive a payout from a bank in Estonia. They will receive it from an Italian bank. The same goes in any other market where we operate. This obviously prevents IBAN discrimination that is present in some of the European markets and other markets, and that is imposed by some of the banks, especially for high-risk verticals such as gambling. And then on the deposit side, it same applies for the payouts. Unlike cards and other traditional payment methods or some innovative payment methods, the transactions with Pay by Bank and with Trustly can be much higher. There are much less limitations when it comes to the transaction values. You don't have to be bothered as a user to look at the card expiry dates or some other issues that you face with traditional payment methods. And then when it comes to the convenience of payments itself, I think that it goes beyond payment, because this is a good segue actually to talk a little bit about other services that we offer. We launched in 2015 a flagship product called Pay and Play, and this product actually helps the operators solve a problem of drop-off rates when it comes to player onboarding, registration, verification, because traditionally players, when registering on a gambling website, they needed to fill a form and then upload documents to prove their identity. With Pay by Bank and Trustly, apart from offering a seamless payment experience, we are also able to pull the bank level verified KYC information from the bank of the user, but also from third-party KYC providers and registries, depending on the market, and send a full profile of the player to the operator in the backend, so they can get a fully verified and created player account without the need for the player to do any form filling or document uploading.
Amazing. I mean, that's not just convenience. That also has to be fraud prevention as well, I imagine.
This is a very strong fraud prevention tool, because obviously there is a lot of fraud that happens when you are supposed to review the documents provided by the players, and this is a bank level verified data that according also to some of the gambling regulators is better than the traditional payment methods from the fraud prevention perspective, but it also presents a very pleasant user experience, and a lot of players drop out when they are registering on the website because of the inconvenience of the whole journey. And when it comes to Pay and Play, this has significantly improved the experience for the players and then brought benefits to the operator, because if you're an operator, instead of connecting with multiple service providers that will help you get those documents uploaded, but also analyze them, and employing multiple operational teams in order to be able to be on top of those operations. The whole process is simplified with Pay and Play, and we have seen that, especially in the Scandinavian markets like Sweden and Finland, but nowadays also slowly starting in the UK market, this is becoming an industry standard. So if you don't have Pay and Play or the, as I call it, AliExpress alternatives to Pay and Play that were built by our competitors, you are falling behind. So
now, are these services to the operator a la carte? I mean, is it all packaged as now one standard service includes all of that orchestration and KYC, or if operators have other preferences for services they're already using for those aspects, they can just use you for the payment side.
No, it's complete. Our offering is modularized. To put it that way, you can use us only for deposits and payouts, but you can also use us for onboarding. And there are many other services like the open banking based affordability product, or the name and IBAN verification product that are particularly important in specific markets depending on the gambling regulation. And even when it comes to the pay and play, you can actually use pay and play not as the only onboarding solution for your website, but as one of the two. So you can offer the two options to the player, the traditional way or the instant onboarding way or seamless way, which is pay and play. So it's entirely up to the operator. And obviously this product, because of the limitations of KYC data in different markets, is unfortunately not available across Europe and North America yet, but we are making sure that we are building it and rolling it out wherever we can build a sufficiently good service for our merchants.
Well, you're leading to my next question, which was geographical coverage. What markets are primary for Trustly, and what is global reach? What markets are operators using you in?
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, we are available across European Union, the UK, US, and Canada. Obviously, some markets are we have a stronger footprint than the others. I would say the Scandinavian markets, UK, Germany, Netherlands are the strong markets in Europe, and then obviously US is our biggest market. One thing that actually influences the footprint in different markets is the availability of good enough APIs that would allow us, bank APIs that will allow us to build strong and good user experience services when it comes to pay by bank. Unfortunately, today in Europe, not all the markets allow us to build that service, but we are still present in the whole European Union. In some markets, more with the instant payout product and working on the instant deposit product. But one thing that I didn't mention, what also maybe differentiates us from the competition, apart from all these payment and data services and products, is the fact that Trustly is in a way a payment orchestrator as well, because in the markets where we identified that there is no strong or good possibility to build a seamless pay by bank deposit product, but there is a local payment champion or a payment method that is used by the majority of population, we are coupling and integrating this type of method with all the products and services that we have in one package to offer the best payment mix for the merchants and the users. Examples of that are the Netherlands, where we combining open banking with Ideal, which is the most popular payment method that is now becoming Wero. Bank Contact in Belgium with our instant payment capabilities in the Belgian market, MBWay in Portugal, and we are rolling this out further with other solutions like Bizum in Spain or Blik in Poland. This also allows our operators that have a multi-market strategy, or our merchants in different verticals, to use to get the best of both worlds, to use the best features of open banking or pay by bank combined with local payment methods, all through one integration. So that's another advantage of using Trustly.
Well, speaking of integration, we have a long-standing partnership with Trustly and many mutual clients. And Trustly is pre-integrated to the Pragmatic Solutions PAM platform. So for customers of our PAM platform, getting started with you is a commercial relationship to be established between your company and theirs, and then a configuration on our side. But if someone's operating on a different technology platform, let's just talk about the onboarding process. Someone wants to get started with Trustly. What does that look like?
Yeah, as you said, when it comes to Pragmatic Solutions, we have been working with you guys for quite some time, and it is a quite simple process to get launched, because usually when it comes to launching with merchants in gambling industry, as you know probably better than me, is one of the main hurdles is the technical integration. In the cases where there is an integration to a platform such as yours, these obstacles is removed. But given the requirements of us as a financial institution and the gaming operators as licensed operators, there is still the CDD onboarding process, the customer due diligence that needs to be done, and obviously the contract. We need also to do the integration configuration, or in the case of the merchants on Pragmatic, or a full integration. When it comes to starting from zero merchants or doing a direct integration, we have dedicated teams across our offices in Malta, Stockholm, London, Lisbon, and other places in Europe and the US that are supporting our merchants and partners in making this integration as seamless as possible. And we usually like to do a few of those processes in parallel. So the CDD onboarding with the integration review and the contract process, so we can finalize them in a more efficient way. But I think that from start to finish, depending on the merchant, you can be live with Trustly even in a matter of weeks.
We've seen that, and we've shared some mutual clients that I've noticed you have long-standing relationships with. So as I always say to customers, of course, they vet us for our technology first, but ultimately it comes down to the customer relationship and the people that you're dealing with. To what do you attribute your success with the long tenure you've had with your customers? What do you think are the key building blocks of strong customer relationships?
That's a very good question. I think that obviously the interesting thing is that Trustly kind of started from gaming, and a few of our founders used to work in gaming industry, and our first clients were the big Scandinavian gaming companies. And over the years, obviously, we built and maintained those close, genuine relationships with the gambling companies or other clients in other verticals as well. But I think that the key to a good and long-standing customer relationship is honesty, integrity, building genuine connections with your clients, going through some difficult times, but together. And then, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, being open and clear on what are the capabilities of your offering and what are the things that work well and don't, and also getting that feedback from the merchant. And I think that over the years we were fortunate that we have built a technology that solves the problems for the merchants, and that we were able to be reliable, because I think reliability is also a very strong factor when it comes to the length of a relationship, together with all those other factors, that they always had a consultant and not merely a provider that is trying to sell them something on our side. And that is actually proven with some of those products and services that we've built, because Pay and Play was not built for Trustly, it was built for solving an onboarding problem in gaming. Same goes for the affordability solutions. And as we worked with a lot of clients along the way, and we're a reliable partner with a lot of the same people that they've been dealing with over the years, I think all of those factors contributed to these long-standing relationships that now go more than 15 years with some of those clients.
I like the way you've articulated that, because I think it makes sense, and it's evident when looking at Trustly or in the discussion that we've had that your founders established the business to solve a clear problem that they were close enough to understand the problem domain. And then somewhat organically from there, as you've expanded the product portfolio, it's come from direct feedback from the customers that you're working with, understanding how you could be more helpful to their business. We like to operate that way. I like working with companies that think that way, and I think you captured that really well. Vasily, I'm really grateful for this discussion with you. I hope that we've been able to enlighten some of the listeners of Connected as to what is the scope of services available from Trustly. You get a strong endorsement from us here at Pragmatic Solutions. We find you not only a great solution for our customers, but a great team to work with. If someone viewing this is interested to talk with you about what Trustly can do for their business, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Obviously, there's trustly.com. How else can they get to you, Vasily?
Exactly. They can. Before that, I also want to thank you for inviting me to join you and have this interesting conversation. We are also grateful for the partnership with Pragmatic Solutions, and we hope that this partnership will only continue to grow in the upcoming years. When it comes to the merchants or potential partners, they can contact us through our website, and there is a possibility to fill a form where they will express their interest in services. They can contact us through you if they tell you that they are interested in our services. And then obviously there are a few of the people that I hope are known in the gambling industry from our side that they can contact directly on LinkedIn, and we will put them in touch with the right people within our teams.
And of course, as you and I have done before, there's always the opportunity to meet Trustly at any one of the conferences in the industry. So look out for Trustly. Vasily, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for tuning into Connected. And if you haven't already subscribed or liked one of our videos, please do. If you have, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a regular viewer of Connected. And Vasily, thanks again. Great to speak with you about Trustly. Thanks so much for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye.